The classic Survivor phrase, outwit, outplay, outlast. We often associate the outplay and outlast portion to the strategy and social components of the game. But we also must remember that challenges can also play a major role in outplaying your opponent and therefore outlasting them to the end. Today at Analytical Strategy, I just want to highlight 5 of my most surprising challenge competitors in the history of the game. Now, challenges can highlight a range of different skills and abilities other people possess. Just because you are a big, bulky, athletic guy doesn't make you an automatic to win challenges in Survivor, and that's what makes it so fun. If my channel has been a nice surprise for you, please vote for that subscribe button to stay tuned for more videos just like this coming in the future. So without further ado, let's get into my personal top 5 most surprising challenge beasts in Survivor history. So in 5th position, I'm going to kick things off with John Cochran, obviously focusing on his game within Survivor Caramoan. So the fact that Cochran actually played before adds to why to me he was such a surprise packet in the challenge portion of his game in his returning season, not being a very strong competitor in South Pacific, to put it politely. Now I think Cochran demonstrates this season that there are a lot of factors which can result in winning a challenge on Survivor. Some being skill, some being willpower, and some resulting from obtaining advantages in the game as well. Now a lot of people may say Cochran would not deserve to be on this list, as he won 2 of his 4 individual immunities via the assistance of an advantage. But to me, he still won them, and that's all that matters. He doesn't have an asterisk next to his name for winning 4 immunities. He still had to obtain those advantages and use them effectively to get these wins. I mean, even with these advantages in play, given his previous outing on Survivor, even with these advantages to me, he still well and truly exceeded my expectations. Cochran's 4 wins were also in a range of different styles of challenges as well, winning a disgusting food eating challenge, to holding a rope for the longest period of time, and in the end clutching up and winning that final 4 challenge to sit in the final 3 and ultimately win this season. So someone like Cochran, winning all these challenges really adds to why he was such a great winner in this season as well, as Cochran clearly wasn't cast on the show as the archetype to be a challenge performer. He was cast as the so-called nerdy superfan, so going up against the likes of Malcolm, Eddie and Reynolds, who may have more been cast as the so-called good-looking athletic challenge performers, and beating them not only in the strategic component of the game, but also in the challenge component really adds to his story this season, and why he really deserved the win. Also, as he wasn't expected to win in any of these challenges as well, it did not hinder his game even though he won them. A buff guy can win one challenge and be a challenge threat for the rest of the game. But Cochran could keep winning and it could still be a running joke, and it's actually super interesting to think about. Perception is reality in Survivor, so overall to me he was a big surprise packet and definitely deserves to be featured as one of the most surprising challenge performers in the game's history. So next up in 4th position, I've got to go with one of my favourite characters of all time, and that is Keith Nail, from both Survivor San Juan del Sur and Survivor Cambodia Second Chance. Keith came into his first season as a 53-year-old man, and was a massive surprise in individual challenges later in the season. Keith was actually so good at challenges that Natalie made one of the bigger moves in the game to get rid of the younger athletic Alec, so that Keith could stay in the game to have more of a shot to beat John in immunity, so she could make her move to get him out of the game. Again, if you said at the start of the season that Keith was going to be more of a challenge threat than the likes of these younger, fitter players, I would not have believed you. But I am as glad as I am impressed that I would have been wrong. In Survivor Second Chance as well, we had Joey Amazing, one of if not the best challenger competitor Survivor has ever seen, and he was really looking like he could run away with the game and take out basically every single immunity challenge. But no, not when Keith Nail is in town. Keith lasted so long that the Golden Boy fainted on him, which again is absolutely incredible. Joe, someone so much younger and so much more athletic, was taken out by a 53-year-old man in what turned out to be an endurance challenge in the end. It was really remarkable to witness. I mean, if Joe was not in this season, Keith could have easily been that person to have won a lot of those challenges. He really went toe to toe with him throughout the individual portion of the game. I love me some Keith Nail, and I love how amazing he turned out to be in the challenge portion of the game, in addition to just being a lovable character overall. And speaking of elder gentlemen in the game, in third position there is no more surprising than the winner of Survivor Gabon, Bob Crowley. He's the oldest person to ever win the game at age 57, so for him to be such a baller in challenges was really remarkable as well. He was singled out as the oldest male in the game, being the person to commence the schoolyard pick to assemble his original tribe in Cochran. Now, being that eldest male in the game, generally you would struggle to even make it past the first few tribal councils, let alone the merge, let alone winning 3 immunities, let alone winning the game. What he did was absolutely phenomenal. Bob also didn't only win just 3 individual immunities, he won 5 individual challenges in a row, including rewards. Being a physics teacher and a handyman back home helped him in both the mental and physical portions of the challenges within Survivor. Now, he wasn't only just a surprising challenge competitor to the viewers, but also the castaways he was in the game with. Even after all these individual immunity and reward challenges were complete, there was another obstacle for him to overcome in the fire-making challenge in the Final 4 against Maddie, to be able to sit in that final tribal council, and of course, Bob got it done and won, and then won the game. So although Bob may not be on most people's lists as one of the best winners to ever play the game, we cannot discount how well he did in challenges, and really was a fantastic surprise within Survivor Gabon. So with the perfect contrast to Bob Crowley, in second position, we're going to go with someone who a lot of people may have even forgotten played the game, let alone how good she was in challenges in the Pearl Islands, and that is Dara Johnson. Johnny Fairplay and Burton thought they were going to be able to sail through to the end of the game and beat the girls in these challenges, but they did not consider that the smallest girl out there, the youngest girl out there, may just be the biggest challenge beast on this island. Dara went on a hot streak, winning 3 individual immunity challenges in a row, and took everyone in the game by surprise, turning into a physical threat right before their very eyes. Dara could have easily continued this streak and gotten to the very end of the game to potentially even win it. However, in another controversial twist, in the same season as the Outcasts, the jury got the ability to work as a unit to deny the Final 4 individual immunity, and they won, confiscating the individual immunity necklace and therefore causing Dara's streak to end. Due to how good she had been in challenges, and how likely she was to win that final individual immunity challenge, she was unfortunately voted out unanimously at the Final 4. A lot of people are unhappy with the new fire-making challenge twist at the Final 4, but to me, this was just as unlucky for Dara to be in this position this season. As mentioned, Dara was the youngest player to compete on the Pearl Island season, and definitely was a huge underdog and surprised to just be a force within these individual challenges. Now finally, in first position, I'm going to bend the rules a little bit here and focus on how well a tribe performed at the individual portion of the game, rather than just an individual, and talk about the Brains tribe within Survivor Cagayan. Now, there is no denying this tribe was one of the worst in challenges we have ever seen in Survivor history, like unbelievably bad. After Garrett was voted out especially, outside of Spencer being semi-decent, it really looked like every single member of the Brains was a liability in challenges, and there was no reason for us to think this would change by the time we got to Merge. Now at the Merge there were 3 Brains left in Spencer, Tasha and Cass, and 8 beauties and brawn members with very physical players who you think would be favourites in a lot of these challenges, like LJ, Wu, Tony, Sarah, Jeremiah, just to name a few. Now Wu did end up winning 2 individual challenges at the Merge, the very first and the very last challenge, but outside of that, every single other challenge was won by this Brains tribe, with Spencer winning 3, Tasha winning 3, and Cass winning 1. It is not often that a tribe that won 1 challenge altogether pre-merge ends up cleaning up 7 out of the 9 individual challenges post-merge. It is really something that was completely unexpected and took a lot of viewers by surprise. Now Tasha and Spencer were 2 people in the firing line for a lot of this season, and them continually going on challenge runs as well as playing some great strategy is what kept them alive in this game, and really gave them a shot to win the game. So whilst yes, Survivor is a strategic and social game, you can never count anyone out from going on a challenge run to get to the very end and potentially even win. So there you have it, 5 of the most surprising challenge beasts in the history of Survivor. Do you think I missed anyone in this list? Please let me know down in the comments. If you are enjoying these types of videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's quick, it's free, it's easy, and you'll stay tuned for a lot more Survivor content coming in the future. Thanks to everyone for listening. I really appreciate everyone watching these videos. This is it for Analytical Strategy for now, and I will be signing out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.